So it's Friday night. It is 10:55. I'm tired. I've been working all week, 65-hour week. Picked up these 90s today for my exhaust, so I'm gonna start working on that. I didn't really finish or film much for the fender in the sissy bar. It's just, it took me the entire day, and once my battery died, I don't have another battery, so it was just kind of done after that. So the footage that I have is what it is. As far as that goes, I'm about to start on my exhaust. I'm definitely going to need more of these. I have 2 of these, and I'm definitely going to have to buy more. They're not cheap, but that's fine. Summit carries them down the road. So let's get started. So just as kind of like a plan for the exhaust, I plan to have this one route down, come up, and then come up to about there. Same with the front one. If any of you have seen Jeff Sahakian's, I hate to copy it, but something like that. Or so something like those. Getting there. I have like very minimal space to work with. I got my foot pedal there, and I'm like crouched down trying to tack shit. So it's kind of working, kind of not. I like set that one, checked it 3 times, looked at it, and then tacked it, and was like, damn, do I really want it there? But I think it looks good. This pipe sticks out so much more than the front one, but I think it'll be fine. I need to weld that up, weld that one up, run it out. I'll be able to put that on an angle so they meet up at the same parallel, and then I'm gonna do a degree right here, and then the same that follows, and they'll shoot up about here and then stop about here. So yeah, definitely getting there. Alright, so this is like my, not necessarily 3rd day working on it, but I worked on it that night that I filmed, worked on it some last night, and then I woke up this morning and I'm starting to work on it. So this is as far as I gotten. I don't really like how this piece, I want it to have more angle, like shoot up to about there, but I think it'll be fine coming out there. That was super tight right there, like it's hitting, but it is, like you can see it pushing it. I don't see it's a big deal. I don't really care. I want to go to mids anyway. So I'd probably end up just rebuilding that whole pipe. But other than that, for right now, I'm gonna try to match that and connect it in there and shoot up with the rear cylinders up sweep. And then I'll probably cut the lengths and then cut the lengths out of my big stick of tubing and then weld them on there. I don't know if I ever filmed it, but the exhaust is done. So, bam! Long tube, boys. Got myself a little bracket welder right there to keep the space. I spaced it out with the Sharpie. Super ghetto, but that's what's up. I may cut them down once I get the whole bike done, like the tank and the bars. I don't know yet. I need to make a bracket because hardtail, it's gonna be bouncing everywhere. Other than that, so let's do an overview of what's left on the bike. Wiring, clutch springs, gas tank, handlebars, headlight, carb. It's right there. Carb. I need get in that in a second. Paint. I need to paint everything or wrap it or powder coat it or yeah. Other than that, basic stuff, like not really. I'm gonna shoot, there ain't really much left. I put the 3-inch string springs back on the seat because, oh yeah, and I need to mount the seat, that too. But I put them back on for fender clearance, and I think they look a little bit better. Possibly, I don't know. But yeah. Oh, and I need to wrap the exhaust, so finish in there. It'll probably take like a weekend or two. Not too bad. So yeah, it's been like 2 weeks. The bike hasn't changed. Headlights like barely mocked up. The bracket, still need to make the bracket. I don't know if I ever showed this, but I bought another bike. CBR 600RR, and I have my wind chimes. Just kidding, they're the exhaust. Really need to finish up this video, seems on how it's been like 2-3 weeks. So I have my exhaust hanging. I'm gonna paint my exhaust with high temperature exhaust paint, and then to wrap things up, haha, literally, I'll be doing exhaust wrap to the bend and in there too. But the issue is they're swinging around and touching each other, so I need to figure out how to minimize that and get to spraying them real quick. Get this shit done. Alright, so jumping right into it, I am wrapping up the exhaust, literally and metaphorically. So this is fiberglass heat wrap. I'm not necessarily wrapping it because I'm worried about heat per se. I'm more so wrapping it to cover up my welds. I'm gonna get it as tight as I can. Hence the water, because there's water and Miralax in there. So she loosens right up. Yeah, so I finished the exhaust last night. I think I only recorded one of the wraps just because it's like, it's redundant and it's kind of annoying because I have gloves on, my hands are wet, I'm trying not to get fiberglass in my skin and everything like that. So finished that up, left it outside overnight, somewhat dried up. It's still got moisture in it, which isn't a big deal. Once it dries up, it'll really constrict even more. But yeah, I got the exhaust back on and here's how it looks. It's got the black and then the heat wrap. Heat wrap's mostly to cover the welds, but I think it'll help with my leg, I suppose. I think once I get like the tank and the bars and the headlight mounted correctly and like everything done, I think I'm gonna either cut it about where the shade is or about like in between the shade and the sissy bar. Because I mean, like when I envisioned the exhaust when I built it, I didn't envision like a slope like that. I was thinking it'd be more like that. That's why they are so long, because I wanted it to come up probably to about here at like an angle like that. But it'll be okay. I think that'll look good, especially if I cut it right there. I do, once I get better at welding and like have the right stuff to be able to get good fit up with tubing and angles and stuff like that, I'm definitely gonna wanna redo the exhaust. I might even do like down sweeps in the front and the back, a little twisty pipe, 2-to-1. Something that's unique and you never really see, because when I have the fabrication skills, why not? But as far as the exhaust wrap turned out, I think it looks pretty even. But yeah, so I just kind of like mocked up and tucked all the wires up in there. I'm definitely gonna have to do better, especially when my tank comes in, because the tank is just gonna end up sitting on top of the frame and I'm gonna have to extend stuff and have to touch that up with paint. I got my seat bolted on. It was pretty sick. It didn't take me but a few minutes. So that's that. These are with the 3-inch springs. I think with the 2-inch springs it'll be sitting on the fender. I definitely want to make a shorter headlight mount for this because of how far it sticks off. I think it looks pretty goofy versus if I brought it back maybe like an inch or two. Also with that, the headlight, I kind of have it like ghetto rigged right now just so I could turn it on. But man, that thing is dull. Or not dull, but dim. But also, I got this mounted. I got my neutral light. I'm not running a high beam, but this is a start switch. So that's pretty sweet. Along with that, I have my tail light mounted. I don't think I showed that yet. So my tail light's there. It has a license plate light right here. I don't know if I'm gonna wire that up. I don't even know how I'm gonna wire this up, because this is the pigtail coming off the tail light and these are the wires, the factory wires. So I'm definitely gonna have to play with that. I may even take my fender off because it is super crooked. It's probably hard to tell in the light right now, but if I show this side and then come over and show this side, I definitely don't have the best eyeball work. But along with that, my electronics tank is on. This is just that 4-inch PVC pipe. It's pretty ghetto. I definitely want to buy one of those oil things, weld it up together myself. I extended the cable coming off the ignition or the starter solenoid. I really needed to extend the cable coming off of the starter, but never got to it. I really want to make, or I need to make new fender mounts down here. As you can see, this one I had to bend up. That one's already welded for the most part in place. I need to fix this because I broke that. Other than that, definitely coming along well. The gasket's in there. I did see a drip of oil this morning on the ground, and I'm not sure if that's coming from the drain plug or from the gasket or what have you. Seems on how there's no oil in it, I'm not sure. I also need to buy new or more hose clamps for these. I threw the carburetor on. I know somebody was asking, I'm not sure if I got back to him, but I threw the carburetor on to see if the carburetor was hitting this. The carburetor doesn't hit this, but the linkage holder hits it for throttle cable. That's what hits that. So I may have to bend that out of the way, twist it, find something how to relocate it. But yeah, I also need hose clamps for this. I'm not gonna run this on a mount because it's kind of held up by these. Bars are supposed to ship this weekend. I haven't gotten any shipping information. I don't imagine they're gonna ship on a Sunday, since on how it's Sunday. I ordered a gas tank. I had ordered the one, like the Asian dude and stuff who builds the one like specifically for these bikes. I had ordered that one and it was, I think, 2 months ago, and it still hadn't even left China. And so I just canceled the order on that, got my money back, ordered one from TC Bros. It'll probably be here by Thursday. Like, they're good. They seem to be good on their shit, so that's that. Also with the exhaust pipe alignment is I've had a bracket welded in so they are aligned, and they kind of like, here's the tire and they stuck out like that. As you can see right here, the top tube is straight and like kind of how I want it with the bike, parallel with the bike, and the other one comes out on an angle. So I think also with cutting that down, it's definitely going to make a big difference on like keeping them together. And then it'll also be a lot less unsprung weight. And so right now I don't have an exhaust mount, which I don't think is a big deal until you hit that potable hole, because it has only front suspension. And as I noticed yesterday, this fork seal is leaking. So possibly Springer front end, possibly, I don't know. Fork seals are cheap, they're just a major pain in the ass to replace. But yeah, so that's an update on the bike. That's the exhaust. Appreciate watching the video. I think we're over 100 subscribers now. That's pretty neat. But yeah, subscribe, comment what you think, ask any questions. I'll try to get back to you. Yeah, thanks for watching.